The factory style replacement headlights that we have here today will be one of the most affordable ways to freshen up the lights on your 05 to 09 Mustang at home while adding a little bit more aggressive styling at the same time. Now the DOT approved lights will combine the black housing with a crystal clear lens, and of course the OE style or design, all for right around that low $100 price point. Install is going to get a soft 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter here, guys. Take about an hour or so to knock out from start to finish, as we'll show you later in the video. The factory style lights that we are featuring here in today's video are easily one of the most affordable in the category, and as the name implies, will be a great choice for the early S197 owners who are looking to really stay true to the factory recipe thanks to the OE inspired design. Now, so often in the category, things can get pretty carried away with extra halos, projectors, LEDs, and while they certainly have their audience, I feel these lights, on the other hand, are going to be a great choice for the owners, the less is more type of owner out there who prefer to keep things simple. And let's break down the factory or simple look or design, guys, and it really all starts with that clean retro styling that helped make the 05 to 09 cars such a big hit. Now, the biggest appeal with these lights, besides the really attractive price point, will be the fact that they trade the kind of bright chrome factory inside or housing for a more stealthy black housing. Now, that black housing, while still being pretty subtle, is enough to give the front end a slightly more aggressive look, while it is being, again, topped off with that crystal clear polycarbonate lens. Now, personally, I'm a big fan of pairing up the black housing with a clear lens because, again, it will give off a darker, more aggressive look, but without having to worry about impacting your total light output at night, like you might encounter if you installed a set of dark smoke lenses. Now, regardless, if you do want to both see and hear from fellow 05 to 09 owners in regards to installing these lights and what their experience has been like, feel free to check out the customer submitted images along with those reviews before pulling the trigger. Now, before we get into the install, I do want to point a couple things out real quick here, guys. First and foremost, you will need to transfer over your factory dual element bulbs, or you can use this as an opportunity to upgrade to a newer, brighter bulb, but again, that is totally up to you. Now, last but not least, guys, always like to point this stuff out when we're talking about lighting. These lights in particular have been given both the DOT and the SAE stamp of approval, which does make them legal for use in all 50 states. But now we want to shift gears and just show you what it takes to get everything installed at home. So without further ado, grab your toolbox and check out our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown now.
The tools you'll need for this project are a power ratchet or a 1/4-inch drive ratchet, a 10mm socket, a 5.5mm socket, a trim removal tool, and a number 2 Phillips screwdriver. Hi everyone, today we're installing a set of headlights on our Mustang, but before we do that, let's watch a short video on how to uninstall the stock headlights.
So the first step of this install is going to be to get underneath the hood and to remove the radiator cover at the top in order to get access to the screws and bolts necessary for removing the front bumper. Next, I'm going to use a clip tool to remove the push pins that hold the rad cover down. Now I'm going to use a 10mm socket to remove these 2 upper bumper bolts. As you can see, I removed the front wheel to gain access to the inner fender liner. I did this to get access to these 3 screws and these 3 clips that hold the fender liner in the front to the bumper, so I can peel this back and get access to the bolts behind it. Now that I've peeled back my fender liner, I can get access to these 2 10mm nuts on the back of the bumper. I can also get to my 2 plugs that are a little further in. Now I'm going to repeat that same process on the driver's side. Before I can remove the bumper, I'm going to pull the 3 bolts at the back of the belly pan so that I can remove everything all at once. With everything unbolted, I can remove my front bumper assembly, but while I do so, I have to make sure that I either unplug or unclip my fog lights from the light bulbs themselves. There are 3 bolts that hold the headlights to the vehicle. There are 2 at the bottom and 1 at the top. I'm going to use a 10mm socket to remove those 3 bulbs and then unplug the connectors from the back.
Now this light does not come with a new light bulb, so we'll have to reuse the one from our old light. To do that, we're simply going to twist this counterclockwise and pull it out. Now to do this, we're simply going to twist the bulb counterclockwise and pull it out of the old light. Then we'll just insert it into the new light and turn it clockwise to lock it into place. Now we can just plug our connector into the back of the light and reattach the light using the original hardware. And we'll tighten it all down using our 10mm socket. And repeat that step for the other side. Now we can go ahead and reinstall our front bumper. Remember to connect your fog lights here and here before you tighten everything down and set it in place. We'll reattach our original hardware. And we'll tighten it down with our 10mm socket. Now before you attach the front bumper to the fender, just reach up inside and go ahead and plug in your parking light and your turn signal. Then you go ahead and attach the bumper, slide it over the studs that are already there, and attach it with the original hardware. Now it's pretty difficult to get the camera in here to see, but basically you're just reversing the process of when you uninstalled it. So just push this in over the studs, use the original nuts, and hold it in place. And we'll lock it down with our 10mm socket. Now we can reattach our fender liner using the original hardware as well. Now we'll tighten the screws down using our short Phillips head screwdriver. And repeat that process for the other side. Now again, it's a little difficult to get our camera in here since we're not up on a lift, but now we'll go ahead and reinstall the screws in the bottom of the belly pan to hold that in place as well. We'll secure that with our 5.5mm socket. Now we'll reinstall our radiator cover using the original push pins to hold it in place. And that wraps up our review and install of our factory style headlights with the black housing and clear lens for the 05 to 09 Mustang with factory halogen headlights, excluding the GT500. Thanks for watching, and remember, for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.